This week has been a lot of fun. Innovation is one of my favorite parts of the ceramic process. I am grateful for the opportunity to create a new approach to the teapot design, specifically the challenge weight brings to the larger vessel. The addition of a pouring stand will ease the effort in filling cups with the heavy pot. I have also added a finger rest on the spout to act as a second lift point when moving the vessel from the main filling to the pouring stand at the table. With custom work, it is necessary to make multiples, which allows me to test variations in design and also acts as insurance against accidents and losses in the glazing and firing. Throwing the body of the vessel, as you see here, is actually not the beginning of the process. Up to this point, the design for the work has taken several hours. I began designing this work with a conversation with the customer about their purpose of the work and their intention behind having this custom teapot made. Specific to this project, the customer wanted the vessel to be large, adding the challenge of weight to the design. With that conversation in mind, I allow a night to pass while I think about the project, remember my previous experiences making the same form, and gather ideas for innovation. The next morning, I sit down with a coffee and draw ideas for the teapot, and then compare my ideas to designs available in books I have here at the house and on the internet. Utility is the first principle of beauty, and creating a design that will augment the user experience is one area handmade work must excel, because we have the advantage of time. Without the limits of casting forms or jiggers, handmade work can have components unique to this process. Teapots are one of the most complex forms we can make in the ceramic arts. They combine multiple processes, have strict tolerances, and must be fully functional. The intended purpose of the teapot is obvious, but consider for a second that we will fill this vessel with scalding hot liquid. Steep tea leaves inside, and then pour the hot liquid out of form, without the leaves. The vessel must hold the scalding liquid. Easy enough, but then it must be possible to easily lift the form and pour the tea out without discomfort or danger. The tea must pour easily from the spout in a smooth laminar flow, a complementary arch. It must do this while filtering the leaves, and then not drip down the side of the pot. To make all this happen, begin with a larger vessel than you need, because remember the clay will shrink 13% in the firing. Here you see me trimming the foot rim. This will remove weight from the final form and provide an air gap between the vessel and mother's wooden table. One innovation I am adding to this teapot design is a pouring stand. The stand will elevate the teapot so that the user can tip and pour without having to lift a heavy teapot. The angle of the spout requires careful consideration. It must be angled so as to pour into a mug easily. The top of the spout must be above the water line, allowing the teapot to be filled completely. Next holes must be drilled in a pattern to allow a volume of tea to create enough velocity to jump out of the spout in a nice arch. The shape of the spout helps with this velocity. Like a funnel, a large volume of water can enter, and then is forced through a narrow opening. Creating a smooth interior to the spout allows for less turbulence and improves laminar flow. Special care must be taken when attaching and smoothing the spout, and the angle of the final cut must consider the rotation of the pottery wheel and the unraveling of the clay as it dries and is fired, sometimes up to 6 degrees. Special consideration must be given to the shape and thickness of the handle. Here I allow for extra weight to be added in order to provide a comfortable shape to hold. The handle is a fulcrum. It must be a comfortable lifting point when carrying a heavy pot full of tea and while pouring tea into cups. I prefer to raise the handle and thereby shift the fulcrum into a pouring position and then allow for a second lift point from the spout. Then I will add a finger rest to act as a second lift point. This is one of the larger forms I made for this project. I also made 5 others. I am so grateful for this opportunity to stretch my ceramic capacity and apply my creativity and innovation to a new approach to the teapot. Thank you for watching.